since last, oh, thank you, Seamus, for starting the live stream. Everyone should know this meeting is being recorded. And as we like to start all the meetings, let's remind ourselves that we're with neighbors here and remember to stay respectful as always, as this group has been very good at. So I thank you for that in advance. We got a packed agenda today. We're going to hear from some interesting community organizations doing cool things across the borough and beyond and across the state. And also our elected officials hopefully will be dropping by. I know Joanne is running late. I think she had some car trouble on the way home from Albany. And both of the senators have been invited. I will text them to see when we can expect them tonight to give us budget updates and sort of the goings on about town in Albany. As a lot of us know, one of our state senators, Andrew Gennardis, welcomed a new baby boy, which we're super excited about. So he will be gifted an official IND onesie, which is super exciting, and happy to pass that along to him. Other updates since we last saw each other. I think last time we saw each other, petitioning was closed, and now they've run all the counts and did all the challenges, and very excited to report that IND's candidates are now down to just one with a competitive primary. So the primary for Rena Malik has been less exciting now that there is no longer a primary contender there. So she's running unopposed. And as we all know, our city council people are running unopposed. Is that still correct? There might be a challenge in the 39th, but nothing too exciting over there, we think. And then so it means all of our efforts will be focused on our own Linda Wilson, who is here along with her team. And I'll throw it to her. No primary challenge in 39. Thank you, as always, Seamus. I knew there was like a rumor of one, but didn't know if it was confirmed. So yeah, just leaves our sole campaign for the season for Linda Wilson, which we're really excited to announce that we are putting together an IND sort of campaign kickoff and canvas on Saturday, June 10th. The plan is to meet at Grand Army Plaza. We'll do some coverage there and then perhaps send folks out into the various neighborhoods from that launching off point. So it's already on the IND calendar, but save the date. Should be hopefully warmer than today and a nice day to get Linda out in front of folks and passing out palm cards and all the same. So I know some folks from Linda's campaign are here as well, but something I think that could really help Linda, since this is going to be such a low turnout race, is actually talking to our neighbors. So if each of us could commit to sort of hosting Linda on her block and having a neighbor stop, or signing up for a subway stop to really introduce her, to make sure that people are actually going out to vote. Because again, there's only going to be one race on this ballot when we go to vote. I think that's a good way of supporting our candidate. But I will pause here and see if Linda, if you want to come off mute and say hi, or if your campaign team, I think I saw Joy here as well, wants to say hi and other ways to plug into the efforts.
Hey, everybody. Linda is also in the middle of an endorsement meeting with LID. So she's going to hop on as soon as she's done there. Nice. And yes, we definitely are looking to have any type of support in the community. If someone is willing to knock doors on their block with Linda or in their building, if they're willing to host like a meet and greet or a chat for Linda, we definitely want to help her reach more people that we know in our district. I'm taking her around my building. So we're hoping that we can get as many people as possible who are willing to do that with her. So yes, please let us know when you're available.
Great. And what's the best way to set that up? Should we email you, or should we start a sign up form and pass that around for you guys?
I think a sign-up form would be great.
Great. Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, we will get that done. So we'll put that together, and then folks can individually sign up. I know it's always helpful when the candidates could come and sort of do meet and greets, and your neighbors are, the best folks to turn out because those are the folks that you see every day. I will definitely pick a date and have Linda here at my building, though. I know at least I live right near Linda and I see her all the time, which is wonderful. And I know she's really out and about over here. So it'd be great to make sure that she's with you all in your neighborhoods as well. So we will do that as a follow-up, and we'll make sure to get that out in our next email to general membership. But for now, save the date of June 10th. Hopefully it's a sunny, beautiful Saturday and we can all get out and have a nice canvas together, because that is just 7 days before early voting starts on June 17th. But of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right on that date. But and then we'll go from there.
Sounds great. Thank you. And she's also available during the day if you have friends that are around during the daytime too. So just let us know. We can make it happen.
So thanks, Joy. And whenever Linda is done with her endorsement meeting, feel free to tell her to hop back on, but we wish her good luck. It would be wonderful if our friends at LID also endorsed her, because then we could work together and maybe turn June 10th into an even bigger day with our coalition members as well. So fingers crossed. Awesome. Okay, next up, wanted to call forward our district leader, one of our district leaders, Aaron, to give us a bit of an update on the goings on about the state committee and sort of a check-in with the larger party. So Aaron, welcome. Take it away.
Great. Thank you. Can you all hear me okay?
Yep.
That's great. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for giving me the space here to talk a little bit about state committee. So for those of you that don't know or don't remember, technically district leaders in Brooklyn are actually elected as state committee members, and then by rule in Brooklyn, we are district leaders automatically because we are state committee members. So basically you can think of it as the district leader equivalent, but at the state level. So about, I think it was last week, we actually had the meeting this year for the state committee. I'll post an article that in City and State that was actually a pretty decent roundup of sort of what happened. But basically, like a lot of these meetings, it was fairly chaotic being there in the room. A lot of different motions and a lot of different competing opinions. But basically, the reason why I sort of wanted to talk about this a little bit is that it was kind of a hopeful ending, because we were able to pass 3 resolutions, one around LGBTQ A+ support, and then 2 other ones around housing support, and another one around mental health support. And sort of really the nit and gritty of it was there were resolutions, and basically resolutions, you could think of it as just like a statement that was voted on and approved by members of the state committee, which are district leaders in Brooklyn, but also state committee members across New York. So basically we just voted to say yes to these resolutions. They're non-binding, but basically it's kind of like an affirmation of what the party wants, right? And there was some debate over basically how we should be framing these issues. So there was concern over just essentially how broad or how specific these resolutions should be. So basically, as they were proposed at the start of the meeting, they were a little bit specific. And essentially, there was a decent amount of pressure on Jay Jacobs, who was the chair, to essentially pass something, right? Because basically, since they were submitted, we didn't want the outcome of the meeting to have a headline saying that like we denied or shot down the resolutions around housing, shot down resolutions around LGBTQ rights, or shot down basically the stuff that we are for, right? So basically throughout that course of the meeting, again, it was kind of chaotic, but we did agree on some language that basically wouldn't kind of overstep our boundaries per se, but we're able to kind of basically put ourselves forward and say this is what we want as a party. I think that's a really good thing, because ultimately going forward into next year and this year as well for elections, I think it's really important that we kind of speak with our values and speak about things that are on voters' minds, right? And be proactive about it. And this was a step in that direction. And I think the reason why I wanted to bring this up is a lot of times, I think in Brooklyn, the county party can be, I don't know, a little frustrating to deal with, a little depressing to kind of hear a lot of those news. But I do think like the stuff that is happening at the state committee is related, right? Obviously, because it's the state level. But that model is sort of making sure that we're representing our communities and representing what voters are actually thinking about and being affirmative for that. I think that is a model that is resonating at the state level, and it's certainly a lot of things that we're talking about within Brooklyn. And I think there's a lot of support around that, right? So I think it's a little bit more of a hopeful angle as we look forward to the county party here in Brooklyn.
Great. That was a great overview. And any questions for our GL?
I have a quick one.
Oh, go ahead, Jason.
Sorry, I didn't use my hand function, guys. After the last election, there was a lot of sort of energy around Jay Jacobs and not understanding why he was still there. Has that sort of dissipated? Does that come up at these meetings? Are we sort of stuck with him?
The short answer of we stuck with him is probably. This has definitely come up. So there was, again, the meeting was fairly chaotic. There was a decent chunk of the meeting where Jay basically stood up there and sort of defended himself. And in my opinion, kind of said some pretty outlandish things. I can't remember a lot of it. But a lot of it was basically like, he did mention like the Replace Jay Jacobs group, made a couple jokes about it. But ultimately, I do think the long story short is the votes are not quite there yet. What I'll say about that kind of Replace Jay Jacobs movement is it's not necessarily just about replacing Jay. It's kind of what I mentioned before, right? It's like the fact that the party doesn't really have a vision or an agenda, or we don't speak to the things that voters are caring about, right? And it's not just about replacing Jay. It's about like, how do we want the party to look going forward? So that's kind of where the movement is. Again, in terms of like whether or not Jay is going to go or not, I think that's really dependent on votes. And as of right now, I don't think the votes are there. But I do think there's more support behind sort of the movement of it. And I do think Jay is kind of feeling that. Because again, he kind of went into the meeting thinking we're just going to shoot down these resolutions and kind of move on, right? And he did ultimately come around to supporting a statement in some way, shape, or form.
Helpful. And I know that there's the whole Replace Jay Jacobs coalition that is still meeting. So yeah, interesting times. Steve, go ahead. Oh, you're muted. Still muted. Nope.
Okay, now I think I'm okay.
Yes.
Okay, Aaron, I know that in July there'll be the judicial convention. I was wondering at some point, I'd like to hear from you regarding what your philosophy in terms of picking judges for the Supreme Court. And I'd certainly like to sit down with you and probably other members and give you our opinions and thoughts on what type of candidates we would like when it comes down to selecting. Because unfortunately in Brooklyn, 44 people decide who becomes a Supreme Court judge, which is just really, we're stuck with that. The Supreme Court made a decision. So I at some point, I'd like to hear from you regarding that. And I'd certainly like to sit down with you, give you my opinion, particularly because I do practice in those courts and it's important to me.
Yeah, no, definitely. Certainly be open to sitting down with anyone to discussing that. I think tentatively, we're like as district leaders, we're still getting around to the idea of the Supreme. So we just finished state committee, so I think it's a little bit of a whirlwind, but definitely it's on the radar. We definitely want to sit down with community members. We are sort of talking about doing a forum of some way, shape, or form. I'm not sure if it's going to go through county. It might go through some of the reform district leaders as well. So I'll certainly be a part of the evaluation. But again, I think in large part what I'm looking for in judges is sort of what I mentioned before, right? I definitely want to take the opinion of folks who practice law into consideration, because again, I'm not a lawyer. But I can sort of weigh in on the election side of things, right? If you are going to appear on the ballot, I do think it's important to be affirmative of what you support, right? And I think of sort of the Supreme Court race in Wisconsin, right? I'm going to butcher the judge's name, but it's Janet something very long. But she sort of ran a campaign. I think, in my opinion, I'm not sure, but it's like, it seems like most judges who are running for an election or running for a judicial seat, they're very careful around sort of supporting policy because they don't want to legislate from the bench. And that's certainly, a valid concern. But I do think there was a norm broken in that Wisconsin race, and that race ultimately swung in the Democrats' favor, in that she was very much like, put it right out there, like this race is about whether or not, abortion rights are going to be in the state or not, right? And I do think Stuff like that. It doesn't have to necessarily be an issue like that, but being for something and saying this is what I'm standing for is something that I think is fairly important. That'll weigh on. But certainly I will love to hear from folks in the room here and anyone who practices law or doesn't practice law.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions from the crowd? I know another part of district leaders' jobs is often recruiting poll workers and oversight over there, but my understanding is that the county has still put in place the liaison role, so that's being taken care of. But I think as you continue to coordinate, you can look to this group to help fill in gaps for recruiting, and we can get the word out. Though I'm not sure how much we're able to do that. Can you speak to like the election day of it all?
I'm not sure exactly either. So basically, if there are folks interested in poll working, you can certainly forward those requests on to me. I haven't forwarded them on to Sabrina Gates. And essentially, as far as I can tell, they've been getting shifts, right? So that's that piece of it. Again, I'm not sure because I don't have the exact slots for everything. Again, it's one of those. I guess it's just the way the political situation is. This is something that is being sort of discussed amongst district leaders, but I think ultimately it rests in the chair's decision of whether or not district leaders, all district leaders, get to have these poll working rights, I guess. Yeah.
Cool. Larry, go ahead. Larry, you're on mute if you're talking.
Okay, we lost 4 congressional seats in the last election. And Jacobs continues to pronounce that the progressives are the enemy. Your faction comes up with LGBTQ and housing, and forgot the third issue. You have a program. Jacob's program is more losses upstate New York. And it has to be taken into consideration. Really remarkable that we got shellacked in a very blue state. Truly remarkable. Thank you.
Okay, yes, agreed. Aaron, was there a response you wanted to give?
Yeah, I mean, it is remarkable. And I do think part of Jay went on a very long speech around defending himself, and he did bring up the 4 races he lost. Well, I shouldn't say he lost, the Democrats lost. And his response was, well, and this was part of a very long response, but it was like, well, if I deserve blame for that, then I deserve credit for electing Tish James. I deserve credit for electing Chuck Schumer. I deserve credit for electing our governor, and so on and so forth, right? And I think a lot of people were like, what? Like, what does that even mean? And then, I think in regards to the progressive or not progressive part, certainly, I think you can probably tell I'm not that supportive of Jay Jacobs as chair. But I do think what I sort of take issue is, and I do kind of self-identify as a progressive, is that in terms of these resolutions, right, they were supported by a lot of folks in the room. It wasn't just progressives. Certainly progressives were pushing for this hard, but there was support in the rooms from self-identified moderates, right? So I do think there is a bit of trying to lump progressives, young people making change all sort of together. But I do think there's a lot more of a coalition building than I think might be kind of communicated outwards. So that is something I do want to share with folks, is that sort of the frustration of losing 4 congressional seats and the idea that we can do better. I'm not sure that that's a progressive thing. I think that's just a Democrat thing.
Great. Thank you. Seamus and/or Bridget, I see your hand up.
It's Bridget, my mom.
It's Bridget. And I will unmute myself.
Yeah, I got mom.
Okay. Aaron, I'd like to know if you asked, our state leader the hard questions. How did one newspaper from one horse town on the North Shore get the story about the good Mr. George and nobody else got it? How did he miss it since he lives in that district? I'd like to have those hard answers, those hard questions answered, and you are in the position to ask them.
What's the question around, which questions? I'm sorry.
The question is, how did our state leader miss the information that was put forth well before the election in a very small paper in a one-horse town that in the town where our state leader lives, and he did not get that out? Is he asleep at the switch? That should be enough to get him out of there right here and now.
Oh, are you referring to the George Santos information? Okay.
How did you ever guess?
Certainly I can ask him, but one of the things that did get
In
brought up,
last week,
yeah, I think one of the things that did get brought up in previously, and then he addressed it in the opening. And his response was basically, well, the state party is not in charge of Oppo research. That's on, the campus.
Excuse me,
Which is-
Aaron, but the Oppo research was available at the DNC and he didn't pick it up. And it's his district,
Hey.
and he lives there. How did he not pick up his own district from the DNC? That's impossible if you are vaguely competent.
Hey, I'm with you. I agree with that. I
But
think
why
that's
did you
part of
ask
the
him those questions?
I think we should remember Aaron is one of a very large body and probably agrees with this. So let's not hold Aaron's feet to the fire.
No.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I
Aaron
am,
is our representative at the state committee, so we have the right to ask him questions, why he
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
ask the hard questions at a state committee meeting.
I think it's been asked was the idea. And like he did address.
It
it,
hasn't
but
been
I think the-
responded to.
And I think basically the point is like, I would agree with kind of what Jason said, and I think a lot of folks in the room agreed, and a lot of folks in the room didn't really feel his answer was sufficient, right? And again, what it comes down to is how do we get the votes to get a new leader and get a new vision, right? And I do think a lot of it is coalition building right now, and like passing these resolutions. It's a good thing just to pass these resolutions, but I also do think it's a good thing and a good excuse to just talk to other state committee members, right? And believe me, like these same conversations was brought up among state committee members, right? Just like it was just kind of like in large part, like when Jay responded this way, it was just like, what, right? And it was a good way to sort of bond and connect with a good amount of state committee members. And I'll say it's a lot of state committee members from upstate New York in very purple districts, or if not red districts, they agreed, right? The question is, will they vote to replace? I'm not sure that we're necessarily there yet in terms of the majority, but the idea is we want to continue to have these conversations.
Thank you. Joan, I see your hand up. Larry, I'll get to you next. Thanks.
Yeah, I wanted to say that generally the state chair serves at the pleasure, with other support from the governor of the state. And she, I don't know personally, but people have said that as of this point, that he still has Kathy Hochul's support. And until that's not apparent, I think it's more difficult to get him removed, even if there are so many people who would like to see some new fresh blood there, if you will. And somebody who would not have let that awful person end up being the representative of communities, in Washington. They can't get rid of him. Even the Republican Party has said, come next year, they are not going to support him for re-election. But as I said, the chair of the state committee is usually there at the support and request, from the governor of the state at the time, and that's Kathy Hochul.
Right, that's a good point. And just to remind every members, we sent a letter to the previous administration, I believe, when Jay Jacobs was not only not supportive of Indiana Walton up in Buffalo, Buffalo, yes. Thank you for fact checking me live. So we sent that letter well before under the previous administration, and of course resent a letter after this this recent election. And I think, you know, IND was said it loud and said it first, which I think is really important to note. So we will keep that coming. And should we get the governor in front of this body, I'm sure we will ask her tough questions about that.
I'm sure.
Larry, go ahead. Maybe one more question for Aaron, and then we can take him out of the hot seat for now.
It is very nice to hear from you. And I congratulate you on your election to this position in the recent primary. Larry Gallotta, the former president. It is heartening that there is feeling regarding this state chairman. Conceive of him more as a holdover from the previous administration and a very wealthy businessman. Okay, there's no law against being a wealthy businessman, but there are many interests which are both apparent and maybe not so apparent in the decision to replace this chairman. I'm sure you'll keep us advised as this process unfolds, and I wish you a great deal of luck in replacing this wayward chairman. Thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the kind words. It's certainly, it's nice to hear support, because I do think when you're in those rooms, it does feel a little like up is down, left is right type of thing. And I don't also, to Joan's point around having the governor's support, there was some talk around some more, I would say, I guess we'll just say more well-connected district leaders or more well-connected state committee members, those who have sort of contacts up into the governor's office, that are the reason why Jay didn't necessarily want to support these resolutions, was that he didn't want to get in front of the governor, right? Especially on housing issues, right? So like one thing is the point around specificity was specifically in that housing resolution. It was basically saying to support good cause eviction, right? Which the governor is obviously not there. But Jay did sort of relent and add a phrase in our resolution that says supportive of tenant rights, I believe, or tenant, basically tenant support, right? Which basically is sort of further than what Kathy Hochul has indicated, right? So again, these are sort of small victories here and there, but the idea is it's very much like, you know, that is the relationship, and the idea is like we're trying our best to kind of push as a group in that regard, right? And I do think there are some positive sides.
Thanks.
Thanks. Awesome. Well, just to take it from state to local, as we all know, the county committee has the ability to constitute our own assembly district committee, and Aaron and I were chatting about doing that, pulling together the ADC, constituting the ADC perhaps in the fall. So we'll be working with, or Aaron will be pulling together, and we'll be working with this group. So stay tuned for that as well. But wanted to thank Aaron for coming by and giving us the full rundown of all the goings on at the state level. So thank you. And you're always welcome here at IND for updates, and thanks for coming by so often. So see you later. Or you welcome to stay on, of course, but we're going to keep the agenda moving. So next we are joined by Jenny from the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Excuse me. We were interested in reaching out to this group because we saw a really awesome article in the New York Times about all the cool, all the cool climate stuff that they're doing down or up, depends where you are in the district. For me, it's up in the Navy Yard. So I wanted to touch base with the Development Corporation and hear a little bit more about the goings on about town there. And I think Seamus, if you can give Jenny the ability to share her screen, I think she has some cool docs that she wants to share. I'm not able to do that, but while you, Seamus, while you queue that up, Jenny, do you want to unmute yourself and say hi? Welcome to IND.
Sure. Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm Jenny Chomsky. I'm the AVP of Business Development at Brooklyn Navy Yard. And so my specific purview is keeping all of our 550 plus businesses connected and working towards our mission and also our strategic initiatives. One part of that is the Yard Labs program, the climate tech piloting program in the New York Times that I guess brought us to your attention for this meeting. There's many more climate initiatives at the Yard, but today I'll focus on Yard Labs specifically to tell you guys a little bit more about that. I have a PowerPoint to keep me on track so I don't ramble, but I cannot yet share screen.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, thank you.
Right, Jenny, we've been back to in person lately, but all of our places that we usually meet are doing commencement. So now we're like back to Zoom. We're, out of practice on the Zoom front. So we'll get you set up in just a minute. And thanks everyone for being flexible with the meetings. Who knew everyone graduates in May? I guess everyone.
I was actually at Columbia on some other business and was very chagrined to see everybody pile into the coffee shop at once at, my peaceful space. So it'll be over soon.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Yard Labs is located on the Navy Yard, of course. I like to just share a couple of stats and basic, like the basic mission and vision of the Yard. And where piloting fits into that, just because I think it's on a lot of people's radar, but you don't realize, for example, that we do have almost 600 businesses here that are co-located on 6.3 million square feet of building space on a 300-acre privately managed campus. We are sort of Williamsburg to Dumbo and all the way back to Fort Greene. So we are quite, it's quite an expansive space. The ecosystem itself connects R&D, prototyping, manufacturing, and industry services. Most companies sort of work fluidly within that life cycle of product development or artistic development or what have you. In general, we are open to, we provide pathways for entrepreneurs to grow new sectors of the future economy, which is where we get to certainly climate and innovation, the space for the Yard Labs. Piloting in the Yard's controlled setting gives companies the opportunity to test and grow with us. The program is open to small entrepreneurs that have never heard of the Yard except for Yard Labs. It's also open to our own tenants. There are a number of accelerators and incubators on the Yard. So sometimes a company will come through one of those. So they're not a direct tenant, but they're affiliated. So it's truly a space where everyone is able to come in and use the Yard's assets and become a part of our ecosystem in order to advance climate initiatives for the city and beyond. Just a quick brief overview on where we started with piloting. So we've done piloting for over a decade. We were actually the first space that City Bike piloted before they launched. We also have, let's say 10 pilots in the last 10 years that range from bikes to electrified roads to Internet of Things and communications, and have had a lot of successes that come out of it, not just with City Bike, but with other sort of interesting technology, autonomous vehicles, et cetera. In terms of where we're going, so Yard Labs is this next chapter. We're doing the same piloting work, but just kind of putting a finer point on it and making sure that it is aligned with climate tech in particular. We specifically welcome companies that make and test hardware for the green economy. That's different than software. That's different than an app. There is sometimes an app that's a sort of layer of data that supports the hardware, but in general, we think that climate change is going to require a lot of doing and making, and we are perfectly positioned to support that. So Yard Labs pilots leverage our coordinated urban physical assets and internal network assets to lead systems-focused innovation for sustainability and resiliency. And what I mean by that is that we really are, we are a self-managed system of roads and buildings and all of these things together. And so there are certain types of climate technology that really take advantage of one or more of these systems interacting, and that's sort of our sweet spot. In terms of our sort of strategic verticals, the first we think of as co-location, so just the virtue of being together. Things like quantum transmission experiments are happening that are incredibly interesting and only possible because of companies that we have here and their ability and willingness to sort of connect amongst themselves in a pilot phase. There's some circular economy and local supply chain piloting that is very interesting, that has to do with platforming, but really making sort of odds and ends available on the yard, so you don't have to put a request into China for a certain screw for a particular machine. I'll have it right here. And then just in general, industry cluster innovation is happening due to this co-location. In terms of like a more physical asset, mobility is a strength. So we're looking for clean energy infrastructure. Vertical transportation is really interesting to us, which could be drones, but certainly other things qualify as well. And then fleet vehicles for electric or EV charging for fleet vehicles, for example, is something that's of particular interest as well. And then the third vertical is buildings. We're very interested in decarbonization, retrofitting, but also energy storage and use. So the ability to, battery storage is something that we hear from a lot, and we're also extremely interested in pursuing. And then also frontier energy generation of all kinds, if it's hydropower or what have you. In terms of the actual value proposition of the Yard Labs program, first is it standardizes and streamlines the application process. The second is that we really work very hard with companies to make sure that what they want to do is a great fit for what we have here. We are actually part of a network of across the city. Governor's Island, we work with very closely, for example, who has their own piloting program that's fantastic. But their strengths are, say, in water and landscaping, things that we actually don't have here to pilot necessarily. So they're able, pilots come to us, we're able to send them there. It's a very sort of cooperative piloting atmosphere in New York City generally, as part of the mayor's New York Initiative 31 that's looking to make New York truly a global hub of tech and innovation. And then the third is that it leverages the full yard ecosystem, which is pretty special if you've been inside the yard. We actually have a design day this Saturday. If you're interested, it's a lot of open studios, so you can kind of see what happens in here. But it really is pretty special, the kind of collaboration that's possible, and just the incredible diversity of industry groups and endeavors. And then just as a quick kind of overview of our asset systems, which pilots take advantage of. There's the roadway, there's energy grid. We have a significant investment in electric vehicle charging. We are actually currently in the process of upgrading all of our chargers and increasing them about 10-fold. There's interesting biotech partnerships happening with like alternative materials. There's a company here, for instance, that takes seafood waste and makes it into a really nice like luxury leather. It's fantastic. There's of course the business community ecosystem, and then just pure buildings, like 60 multi-use, multi-tenant buildings that fall within a couple of different types that are interesting to people. So I think I'll stop there in terms of the presentation and just kind of pause and see what you guys are interested in, and answer any questions that you might have.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. I also hear that there is both a brewery and a rooftop winery there, which is very interesting to me personally.
Yes.
I'm sure some folks have questions. Susanna, go ahead.
And a whiskey distillery, just for the record.
Can't forget the whiskey, right?
Sorry, Susanna.
No, I've actually been to that rooftop and the winery, and it's great. It's really, and it's set up nice outside for the winter, so it's fabulous. I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming. And Alyssa, thank you for setting this up. And while I had emailed you, Jenny, I wanted to give a shout out to Karen Johnson, who actually saw the New York Times article and said, wouldn't it be great to have, we care so much about climate change and the environment, wouldn't it be great to have them here? And that, so thank you to Karen, and thank you for your presentation. That was just fabulous. And, you know, New York State passed this Green New Deal so strong a few years ago. So it's only fitting that we should have some of this innovation happening here. And now New York State passed the all electric vehicles or buildings in the state budget, which I'm sure maybe will come up later. So I'm wondering kind of how you make the connection between legislation happening and changing and then on the ground there, but really just also wondering, all of these applicants, how do they find out about you? So it said that they kind of apply. Are people in the tech field who are entrepreneurs, do they kind of just know this is where to go and this is where to apply to, or how do you connect?
I'll answer the first one first. So in terms of legislation, we of course keep our ear to the ground. We are, for those of you who don't know, the ground and the land and the buildings are owned by the city. Brooklyn Navy Yard Development Corporation is the nonprofit that manages it on behalf of the city, actually through SBS of all things. So that's the sort of space that we occupy between nonprofit and public. So we're certainly very connected to our city partners when there is new legislation being considered or when something rolls out. Local Law 97 is something that we think about and talk about all the time, and is it's just an example of how we are thinking about building decarbonization as a major piloting area that is going to help companies sort of become compliant with Local Law 97 and hopefully exceed before the law fully takes effect. In terms of outreach and how people hear about us, the New York Times article, of course, helped a ton. But some of these are very small worlds as well, right? So there's only so many accelerators that are dedicated to clean tech, for example. I actually learned recently that Canada has made a significant investment in alternative proteins. So we had this Women in Clean Tech accelerator that is based in Canada come through, and we gave them a bit of a tour and told them about Yard Labs, and if they were interested in establishing a home base in New York State, to certainly consider us. And there's the opportunity to pilot and all of this. So it's like this, but so it just gives you a sense of how small the world is. So it's like, if you are working in Canada with alternative protein, you will certainly be a part of this accelerator, know somebody who is. And then, so making ourselves known to these kinds of hubs of activity is really important. And then actually this next year, we're going to start a big outreach strategy specifically targeted towards founders who identify as women or BIPOC, and so on, so that we sort of make sure that we are hitting our goals of equity and especially environmental justice here as well.
I'd like to ask a question here.
Yeah. Okay, Hal and or Ira.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you a question here. I love this idea, and I've been in economic development for 20 years or so, but reality kicks in. What is, for example, the skill set for the people who are going to get jobs, and what is the number of jobs? The reason why I'm raising this, a couple of years ago, they were talking about projects upstate New York. And by the time they got finished, the company they gave millions of dollars to created 18 jobs, and it was like $150,000 per job that the state cost. So I want to know, in terms of what's happening down here, are we going to get hit with a massive bill? Or is it going to be, for example, equalizing that the number of jobs and the number of skills in the jobs will end up becoming the benefits?
I appreciate this question. I think about efficiency of our dollars in public, especially public funding, quite a bit. The Yard, most of our revenue comes from leasing. When the city gives us funding, it's for major capital projects usually. So any of the initiatives such as Yard, the operations involved with Yard Labs, my role certainly, is coming out of the revenue that we generate. We are a nonprofit, but we are revenue generating. So, it definitely isn't, it's different than the scenario that you're describing for sure. I will say that all of our businesses on the yard are small businesses, so certainly they are going to be, 100 people or less, and usually much less. We have plenty of sole proprietors here. As we are thinking about clean tech jobs, or clean tech companies and clean tech jobs coming to the yard, we are thinking about workforce at all levels. There's going to be a certain amount of sort of advanced jobs that require advanced degrees, but then there are also jobs that don't, or we want to make sure that light manufacturing stays here, even if you have an R&D office, so that there's jobs that are able to kind of hit everybody. A great example is Radiator Labs, which is a fantastic company who just actually renamed themselves to Kelvin today. But they do, a lot of their R&D, their business development, their strategy is all here, but so is all of the assembly for their radiator covers that's saving a lot of energy in buildings across the city. So those jobs with the assembly, with the installation, the tech, all of that, those are going to communities that we care about as well.
Thank you.
Very cool. All right, Jason, go ahead.
Sure. Hi, Jenny. Thanks for being with us. You mentioned energy storage systems and being sort of excited about that technology. It's one I am as well. And in my day job, which is at the fire department, we come in contact a little bit with this. But one thing I've noticed, sort of taking my fire department hat off, is there's been sort of misinformation or fear mongering around these systems in certain areas. And we've seen that and gotten some of the feedback from community members, even from elected officials. And it almost reminds me of the Robert Carroll books where they're talking about putting power lines across the country and people saying like, no, it's going to kill all your cows. Don't put power lines in. So I was wondering if there's like in addition to the technology and the financial aspect, a public education or public outreach to try and help people understand what this is, help understand what it is and what it isn't.
Yeah, I think that in terms of Yard Lab and Brooklyn Navy Yard, there's just a bandwidth thing. So Yard Labs is one half of my job and one half of my, the manager who works for me as well. So we don't have that public outreach regarding different climate tech that we are supporting here. I wish we did. And certainly we are working very closely with the accelerators, such as in the case of battery storage, Clean Fight Accelerator is a great program. And I know they are working in sort of every facet of that vertical and can get really deep into the public education part, as well as supporting the individual founders and companies themselves. So I will add that to my list. And also please put a good word in the fire department. We're all looking forward to getting over those regulatory hurdles to be able to install some safe, smart battery storage systems soon.
I think we're seen, rightly so, sometimes as like a challenge or a barrier, but you've got a bunch of young climate friendly folks at the fire department doing what we can. So
absolutely, yeah. The innovation spirit across the city agencies, I have to say, is incredible. I mean, that's been one of the best parts of Yard Labs, is actually working with OTI and DOT and DCAS and EDC to really push these innovation programs ahead to make sure that the city is keeping up with the climate tech goals or the climate goals that we've set for ourselves. And it's going to take a lot of can-do energy. We do want to do it safely. We do want to be mindful of regulations, but we also, want to make things as easy as possible to be able to decarbonize, which is all, our shared goal.
That's great. Very cool. Larry, go ahead.
Larry, I think you're muted.
Local, thank you for coming. As a native Brooklynite, I'm very proud of the Brooklyn Navy Yard. And I wanted to ask you a question about local law 97. There's some controversy surrounding the law, in particular, the heavy fines which are being imposed if you do not comply, and heavy fines on small buildings and moderate income and low income buildings that don't comply with the standards of the luxury high-rise apartment buildings in Midtown Manhattan. we all get AIDS. And all the moderate income, multifamily apartment buildings in the boroughs get Ds. Sounds like a disparity of outcome and maybe a tinge of racial discrimination, because many of these smaller buildings are occupied by working class immigrant populations. We have an abundance of. So how can the Brooklyn Navy Yard's high-tech advanced knowledge maybe advise the council that there are better ways of achieving energy equity than some of the pitfalls in local law 97? Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that question very much. I certainly empathize it with quite a bit, coming from a working class background myself. So who, you don't have the sort of luxury to eat organic or be green all the time. I can just tell you what I've observed. I think that local law 97 was intended to prompt and incentivize companies to just start thinking, or buildings companies all, to start thinking in this direction. It contributed to a lot of energy that went into investing into companies that were decarbonizing. And I think that it has prompted it to such a degree that it has started to sort of democratize and equalize on its own. So heat pumps, for example, are a wonderful technology that is able to contribute to decarbonization goals and towards the local law 97's requirements in a way that's very cheap and effective and easy to install in any apartment building. Certainly Phalo Labs, one of the pilots that's in the article, where it sort of takes carbon directly from the sort of boiler steam pipe and turns it into a white powder. That's deliberately meant to be very modular, very affordable, very able, to sort of suit to any kind of building types. And that's a wonderful story because Brendan, the founder, is somebody from the Bronx who was working at Uber or something on the West Coast and was like, no, I want to give back to my city. I want to make sure that I can contribute to, the types of buildings that I grew up in that might not necessarily be luxury buildings. And I want to make it affordable. And I want to show that this is actually cost effective and can save money, which kind of appeals no matter what the building type is or what the sort of income level is of the residents. If anything, it's more beneficial to lower income residents because it is such a great modular technology that really pays for itself essentially. So I'm just seeing a lot of that energy. I don't know what anybody else is seeing when it comes to local law 97, but certainly I think it's doing what it was intended to do, which is to drive so much investment into the sector that it just, the market is driving down the cost and making things more affordable and easy to install for everyone, not just the luxury buildings.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Awesome. Thanks for being so thorough with your answers. I'm learning a lot here, so I appreciate it. Any other questions before we give Jenny back her evening? All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. I know we're really proud to have the Brooklyn Navy Yard in the 52nd Assembly District and proud to keep it, hopefully with the final maps. I think that is the final maps, you're stuck with us. So if you ever need local engagement or any sort of grassroots operations, feel free to come back to us. This group loves to get out and knock doors and petitions, and happy to apply that where it could be helpful. And I spoke to Ethan earlier today, who extended an invitation to our group for a tour that can definitely land at either the vineyard, distillery, or brewery, whichever one we choose. So really happy to make the connection. And yes, thanks again to Karen, who spotted the article and had the idea to reach out to you all. I think we all learned a lot about some really cool efforts that are happening within our own district. So thank you.
Thank you. Great to meet everyone.
And you're of course welcome to stick around, but if you go, we're not mad at you. All right, so turning it over to a IND member work project, which is really exciting to hear about. I'm happy to change it over to Greg. Oh, there you are. I didn't see you for a second. Hi, Greg. So Greg has been a longtime IND member and is working on all of the stuff related to the UFT, which has been in the news of late. So wanted to make sure to bring him in front of the group to tell us a little bit about what's going on and how we can get involved.
Sure. Well, thanks, Alyssa. And hey, everybody, it's good to be with you as always. The big news, May 24th, Wednesday from 3:30 to 6. We are mobilizing as only the UFT can do citywide. And thankfully, that includes Brooklyn Borough Hall for us and our members, because we are mobilizing to demand a fair contract from City Hall. Some of you may know that our members, which include teachers, but are not limited to that. In fact, it includes guidance counselors, secretaries, school psychologists, and nurses in some cases, have been without a contract since September of 2022. And this particular mayor has been less than receptive to our demands. So we're amplifying them any chance we get. And recently we've been having teach-ins and grade-ins to draw attention to the press and to people about the type of workload that teachers experience and what would be included in a fair contract, what we want to see. So we're encouraging all supporters of our union and public education to come out and rally with us. It's going to be a very big turnout. I know it's kind of in the middle of the day for some people who might be working, but if you can come out, we hope you join us. 3:30 to 6, Brooklyn Borough Hall. I'll answer questions if you have any, but I also wanted to let you know we have the AIDS Walk, May 21st at Central Park. I will be there, rain or shine, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a great cause. If you would like to donate money and not just participate, let me know. I can give you the link. I've already raised close to $500, so I'm hoping to reach that goal. And to those of you who donated, thank you. And finally, the Asian American Pacific Islander Parade will also be May 21st from 11 to 2, and we'll be participating in that. So we're going to be everywhere, but the main focus is absolutely our contract protest and rally, which will be May 24th. And we really hope that you come out and join us. It's disgraceful that City Hall would continue to allow us to work without a contract for this long. But we have a pretty good idea of what we can achieve if we're loud enough. So thanks.
That's great. Is the 9 months, you said 9 months in September without a contract, is that like unprecedented or?
No, it's not unprecedented. We actually went for years without a contract under Michael Bloomberg, who regrettably had seduced some registered Democrats into thinking that his agenda made sense for public education. That proved to be false, and I'm grateful to reiterate that. There were several years that we went without a contract under Mike Bloomberg and Rudy Giuliani.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm hoping we don't have to do this again. We really don't. We're a little concerned, and again, I'm happy to answer questions about it, that the mayor will continue to pitch his austerity budget, particularly now that he's struggling with the migrant crisis. We're afraid he might blame that and scapegoat migrants for not being able to produce a contract.
Interesting. Any questions from the group? I know, I think we have the rally on the IND calendar already, but
hey, thank you.
We'll definitely add it. Excuse me, my voice is changing. Any questions for Greg?
Come on out. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to have a great time. I'll be there. You can get a shirt. You can get a nice UFT shirt, wear it proudly, wear it well after the rally, and keep telling City Hall that we need a contract. That's what we're going to be doing, loud and proud in all 5 boroughs. So if you find yourself in Manhattan, go to the one in Manhattan. But I'm hoping we're all at Brooklyn Borough Hall. It'll be great to see everybody.
Great. I think we have a question from Art.
Yeah,
Yep.
Greg. So at the moment, this covers people working in the educational system.
Sure.
And there was presumably a previous contract. So are they all working at the present time under the old contract?
Correct. That's exactly it. Until a new contract is put into place, we work under the old work order. The only thing that taxpayers should be aware of is that the city of New York is bound to pay us retro payments for any time period in which we have worked without a contract. So the clock is ticking in that sense. That's the one big difference. And that comes down to dollars and cents. But in every other respect, with respect to the workplace demands, we are operating under the old contract.
Thank you.
Very cool. All right, any others? All right. Well, thank you for all the organizing that you're doing and keeping us up to date. My dad was a proud UFT member for 38 years until retirement. He was a school
Nice.
psychologist, and he fought with the union on a couple of different things. So definitely proud of him. I will try my best to go out to the rally. It is during the workday, which is tough, but
Yeah.
I will try to be there and encourage others to do so as well. And thank you so much for updating us on this effort. I know there's been a lot of union news going on with, the writers' strike and the
Yep,
UFT
we've been out there.
contract and a fair deal for CUNY, which I know Seamus has been really involved in. So
Yep.
we're in a moment right now for workers, and it's really great to hear the efforts of everyone and how we can support. So thank you for your work.
Hey, and thanks for letting me pitch it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right. So I see Rena has hopped on. I want to say hi for a sec.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Alyssa. So nice to see everybody.
Yeah, nice to see you. I updated the group earlier about your lack of a challenge anymore, lack of a primary challenge. So we did say we're sort of all in for Linda and her campaign. But of course, if you need anything, IND is here for you as well.
Yes, thank you. I'm always so grateful for IND support, and it's so nice to see your faces, seriously. And I look forward to the next gathering when we all be together in person. So thank you.
Thanks. And that's a good segue for a pitch for our June meeting, where we have confirmed our Congressman, Dan Goldman, will join us, as well as the folks at BK Forge, who are working on some actually time sensitive things. And they asked to send along a message about some of the bills that they are working on, including the Shields law, which I'm assuming Susanna and/or Kenan may know more about, but they passed along this link where you can take action. Susanna and/or Kenan, would you like to explain what this bill does, if you know?
I will be very quick, and if Joanne is a co-sponsor of the bill too. So thanks so much, Alyssa. So at BK, we actually had a lot of speakers. So BK Forge is going to come next month, which is fabulous. They are our local Brooklyn-based group who are supporting access to reproductive health, healthcare equity, and they're going to be giving probably an update about the medication, the abortion pill Supreme Court case, and some other important issues. And I can actually cut and paste the fabulous, short and sweet, they are great advocates, message for you to take action on. So basically, New York is a fantastic place for reproductive rights, in part thanks to some of our fabulous legislators like Joanne Simon and others. And so a really great bill which would protect New York abortion providers and help protect telemedicine abortion access across state lines, because so many people are coming to New York and trying to get access to services over the phone. So this is a really important bill. It's been vetted very carefully by fabulous groups who we know, like NICLU and other reproductive health groups, because it is such a complicated bill. And then we want to make sure our doctors and medical providers are very safe and protected in what they're doing, despite what's happening in other states. So they are just, it's passed the Senate, which is fabulous. And they are just asking you to make a nice call to Assembly member speakers, the Assembly Speaker Hasty, to just say, thank you for being such a champion of reproductive rights. And we really hope you put the New York Shield law up for a vote this session and bring the bill to the floor. So I'll cut and paste a little more information about that so that you can cut and paste that and call the Assembly Speaker.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, excited to hear more from them. It'll, will be unfortunately on the anniversary of the Dobbs decision just around then. So, it's been a wild year in reproductive rights across the country. So, and anything and everything we can do to support our home state advocates on this fight is things that we should be doing. So happy to hear from them next month. Any other updates from around the horn before I throw it over to Joanne, if she's available and able to come speak with us? Okay, hearing none. Joanne, I see you're on. Are you available at the moment? Nope. Yes.
Hi.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hi,
Taking me a
welcome.
little, I'm on the laptop because it starts up quicker than the whatever. Anyway.
Welcome home from Albany. Well, we would
Well,
love
thank
we
you.
would love
Thank
a
you.
full update. Yeah, happy to fill us in on all things going on. I know we were supposed to do the budget update last meeting, but of course we have no budget. So now we are budgeted. Would love some updates from you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to just refresh my recollection with a few notes, because once you pass the budget, it's like the bar exam. Once you pass it, you forget half of what's in it. So thank you, everybody. I'm so glad that Jenny was here from the Navy Yard. I'm very was happy to get the Navy Yard in redistricting and to keep it in the final analysis. And thank you all again for those of you who came out and testified or submitted testimony with regard to the district lines, which pretty much held, as you may know, pretty much everywhere around the state. People were happy with the lines they had, and they've made very few changes. So anyway, but moving on about the budget, this year's budget was little more than 2 billion over what the executive had recommended at 227. We are now at 229 and change. And we had a number of really historic things in this budget. One is that it was the third year of the Campaign for Fiscal Equity. So we've now fully funded foundation aid, which was a commitment we made several years ago, and this governor has continued. And that was really important. We also provided additional funds, education funds in the budget as well. And the other thing, of course, is climate. So as Susanna mentioned, we have the All Electric Buildings Act. We actually included a lot of the Build Public Renewables Act, not the entire, every piece of it, but most of it. We also put $400 million in for the Environmental Protection Fund. So that's important because that helps fund a lot of other things. There are a few things we're working on now at the end of the year, like the HEAT Act, which is also sort of the top environmental bill that the environmental advocates want post-budget. It's not a budget thing. Could have been done in the budget, but wasn't. So we're hoping to get that done along those lines. Build Public Renewables is something we've been fighting for quite some time. That really empowers the state's environmental, NYSERDA, the Energy Research and Development Authority, to start converting energy production to away from fossil fuels, right? To decarbonize the energy that we're producing in New York. So that's terrific. Plus, the Environmental Protection Fund money will go to a lot of issues like parks and oceans and lakes that we're also prioritizing. And we also did a cap and invest program, which technically is really more of a cap and trade. I'm hoping we'll be able to make some sorts of changes there to make it a little bit more investing in the reduction of greenhouse gases and not inadvertently empowering big producers to buy their way out of the crisis, if you know what I'm saying. The other thing we did was transit. We did add free bus routes. You may have seen me in the very wonderful Free the MTA video, where I was on for a few seconds with my wonderful blue beret. I was the star of the video. But anyway, we did get 5 free bus lines, which is really amazing. And that will make a big difference. We also fought to keep the fare hike as low as possible. So now the subway fare will still be under $3, which is amazing because, as you know, there was something put into effect that they would raise it every few years. And it was really important for us to keep that fare down for people. Then the other thing in the sort of education department is another big issue that is always is of SUNY and CUNY and funding higher education. We have incorporated sort of part-time and TAP not long ago. CUNY and SUNY both needed a lot of money post COVID, but also their physical plant has really needed a lot of work. The facilities and has needed a lot of work, and they were wanting to raise tuition again. We were able to give them $150 million and $100 and something million for CUNY to give them the operating money they needed to do a lot of the things they needed to do without raising tuition. So we were able to keep tuition from being raised, because that is a huge issue for particularly for folks who are attending SUNY and CUNY, particularly our CUNY students. This is not a well-off population, and really is one of the jewels of New York, that we have this fabulous public education system that is so immensely successful. So let's see what else we did. We expanded the child care tax credit, and we have made real progress towards universal child care. We have raised the amounts of money that people can earn in order to qualify, because the only people who could qualify were so low income that so many families that were still working class families weren't able to get childcare in our program. Plus, we're making it possible for people to get childcare during sort of the off hours and the kind of care they need. So if you're working a night shift, mom can still get childcare. And that is, again, a huge issue that will make a big difference to a lot of working families. Couple of other things. I had a bill that would allow people to attend public meetings. If you're on a public body and you have a disability and you can't get there, you now can do that, register for the quorum through Zoom, right? So they can now do a hybrid meeting, and they would have let you in the meeting, but they wouldn't have had to count as a part of the quorum. And so this really encourages inclusion of people with disabilities on public boards. And I was glad that we were able to get that in the budget. School lunch, we got a universal school lunch, which isn't perfect, but we have $800 million going to school lunch, which is a huge, huge issue throughout our state. We got an increase in the minimum wage to $17 by 2026. It should be 21, 25. And so we're still fighting for that as well. Let's see, housing, as you may know, there was a lot of conversation about the governor's housing budget, the housing compact. We ended up really not doing that housing compact. It had too many areas in which it really didn't make sense for a lot of places in the state. And I think I mentioned it at one point in one of the meetings, is that a big issue was, for example, developers not wanting to develop affordable housing and people wanting affordable housing. That was an issue in some places. Others are the fact that they don't have sewers. And so there's not going to get much in the way of the kind of larger development that would be transit oriented if you don't have city sewers or the sewer system. There's a lot of the state still on septic tanks, and that becomes a much more complicated thing when you are putting in large buildings. So one of the issues is, what are we going to do about that infrastructure going forward? We unfortunately did not have any tenant protections in the bill, which the budget we were not happy about. We are still working on that, because a lot of those tenant protections are not actually budget matters. As you know, the Assembly does not put as much policy in its one house budget, because we really try to keep policy out of the budget, because then that becomes a way that you can twist arms. And as you know, that was sort of pioneered to a fare thee well by Governor Patterson, and then used extensively by Governor Cuomo, less so initially by Governor Hochul. But this year, there was a lot of policy in the budget that we just basically left out of our one house. And a lot of those policies just didn't work. So the governor is going to come back with more on housing. We do need to increase housing, but we also need to increase affordable housing that is actually affordable to the people that need it. And that's not a very easy thing to do necessarily with a kind of cookie cutter approach. So it's very nuanced. And public safety, you know, one of the big issues, as you know, we talked about was what I think was a lot of nonsense about bail. What ended up getting passed was, in fact, the governor's taking a victory lap, the mayor's taking a victory lap. We got about 90% out of what it was they wanted to do when it came to public safety. And one of the things we were able to, I think, make a significant increase in is that we got significant funds for gun violence prevention programs and violence interrupter programs, because we know they actually work more than, you know, sort of heavy police presence. It's the violence interrupter programs that work. I was also glad that, you know, one of the things that we did with the extreme risk protection order, the red flag bill, was that last year we added empowerment of law enforcement. The governor made them have to, if they get a complaint from somebody about somebody who is a danger to themselves or others, that they have actually been demonstrating and threatening violence, that the cops can file. It's a civil order. They're not going to go to criminal court, can file for an extreme risk protection order. The problem is police departments on the whole don't have massive legal departments. New York City does for sure, but a lot of law enforcement doesn't. And so what was happening in some places upstate where they don't actually have much in the way of law enforcement either, but they have county attorneys, is that they don't have the funding to go to Supreme Court with these extreme risk protection orders. And the AG's office can't pick it up. They can pay for the fees, for the legal fees for the state troopers, but not for local law enforcement, for sheriffs and that sort of thing. So we were able to get $10 million in the budget for that. That was something that I helped negotiate with the AG's office with some of my colleagues upstate who had come to me with that issue. Because I was the ERPO lady, you know, so then we were able to get a sense of what that would cost by working with the AG's office, and then ensure that it got into budget. And that will make it a lot easier, because what was happening is that some of the counties were just not filing for ERPOs, even though they knew somebody was a danger, because they didn't have the funds to do it. And we didn't want that to continue to be the case. Let's see what else.
Joanne, you have a question from Jonathan in the chat, so I'll read it. He said, "Oh, do you want to read it, Jonathan? Go ahead."
Sure, happy to.
Okay.
Thanks, Alyssa, and hi,
Hi.
Joanne. So, Joanne, it's awesome that you sponsored the HEAT Act. I know there are like 50 sponsors, so it's got the right numbers to move. Now it's just to
Ask me that, Jonathan.
What's that?
How did I know you were going to ask me that?
Of course I was going to ask you that. So I'm just wondering what else can be done? Can, like, to get
Well,
HEAT to move it out?
Well, I don't, you know, what I don't know is exactly what, if anything, is holding it up. Right now, we're at the sort of end of session where there are days where we do things like local tax laws for the local, you know, towns and villages around the state that need to renew XYZ. Then there'll be a day where we have the fish day. Joe knows what I'm talking about, is that we, you know, extend the protection for the Manhattan and all these different fishes. And each fish has a different bill. So we go through that routine. So that's sort of an end of the year kind of thing that we do. I don't know that the HEAT Act is in danger so much, but I don't really know, because it's really the lead sponsor, and I wasn't able to talk to her today, who would have a better read on that. There is a lot of support for it. It didn't have to be in the budget. It is, I think, you know, one of the biggest priorities of the environmental folks right now. So that's critically important as well. So we're working hard on that. I know that we got, I think my office has either scheduled, or maybe it was scheduled and it happened after I left today. My staff member was meeting with one of the the Jewish social justice groups about the HEAT Act, because I know that was also part of where you were coming from on that it was a high priority among the Jewish social justice groups that you're involved with. So I believe that we may be successful with it. I just really can't speak to it in the same way as I'd like to, because it's not my bill.
All right, well, I appreciate the insight and everything you're doing on it. Thanks.
Thank you. So
right.
one thing that I'll just sort of update you, a couple things that we were trying to do maybe in the budget if we could. As you know, I have a bill that would screen people coming into the correction system to ascertain whether they might be at risk for dyslexia, because we have so many people who are coming into our prisons who can't read, and many of them can't read because they were either undiagnosed or their disabilities were not attended to. They didn't get the right services. So we were able to pass it in the Assembly for several years, couldn't get it through the Senate. Turns out one of the labor unions had an objection to it because they thought we were going to be privatizing this whole thing. It made no sense to me, but anyway, they were worried about that, which was not our thing at all. So we were able to negotiate an amendment that would make them confident that we weren't going to be hiring some big time firm to come in and do this work. And I am very confident that now that we'll be able to pass it in both houses this year, which would be great, because it is something that should happen. And then one of the other things I'm doing, and Shefali, who is a member of IND, and I have worked on this, and that is a lockdown bill. You know, right now you have 4 lockdown drills are required for active shooter lockdown drills. There's also a number of drills that are required for fire drills. But the lockdown drills in particular have turned out to be quite traumatic. Kids are actually not learning how to protect themselves so much as they're getting scared to death, or they're traumatized by the fact that they think there was a shooter in the building because they're too young to realize it's just a drill and that there really isn't a shooter. And so, and parents are not getting notice. And this is really quite quite a troubling circumstance. A number of my colleagues have had this happen to them, where their kids came back from school. Sometimes they come back that day and say they had a drill. Sometimes they come back several weeks, if not months later, and talk about that day the shooter was in the building, and they've been upset about it. There are, people role playing with, fake bullets. Always helpful to do that to children. So we're really trying to codify better preparation, transparency, notification to parents, an opt-out provision, accommodations for kids with disabilities, and reducing that number of lockdown drills from 4 to 1, because one well-run drill that actually teaches kids and doesn't traumatize them is so much better than 4 crummy ones. I've had another conversation with the chair. I think that our central staff think that there is a lot of people against it. We did get a response from State Ed a while back saying they're already working on doing videos on trying to help schools be able to do these things in a more enlightened way that is more trauma informed. And so clearly the State Education Department is very much on board with the comprehensive nature of our bill. So I'm still have hope that we might get on the education agenda next week. But I'll know more about that on Monday. So thank you, Shefali, for all your work on this. Very helpful.
Yeah, wonderful. Any other questions for Joanne, our esteemed Assemblywoman? No? Okay.
We are done June 8th, so I should be out
Thanks.
by the next IND meeting. And the good Lord willing, we don't have to go an extra week for some fakakta reason, which is the technical term.
Right. Very exciting. And then we'll put you straight to work with our launch for Linda Wilson by way of transition.
Can I say one other thing that is of, I know, interest to a lot of people, and again, it's not a budget thing, it's a new thing, and that's the Way in Motion. As you know, we're going to be able to issue violations to overweight trucks on the BQE. That is ready to be in gear, but we really felt we needed to amend something to address the fact that the rest of the world is not as up to date as New York, believe it or not, when it comes to the calibration stuff. So we'll be able to get that done. All I need is a home rule message, which I am told by our council member that it's not too late. So I think we're going to be okay on that. And I want to thank Danielle for her help on that as well.
Thanks, Joanne.
How do
You're
they measure the trucks? How do they know that they're overweight is there like a scale they roll over?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what the
there-
sensor is. Mhm.
Like,
We've had this like weigh in motion technology for a long time. Forgive me, my camera's not on because the lighting is so bad. I look very witness protection-y. But there's this technology called weigh in motion that we've had for a long time and is used across the country, but this is the first instance in which it's being used for automated enforcement. And the proliferation of overweight trucks is a problem just for our infrastructure nationwide. To be able to enforce automatically. Because, we have PD doing targeted enforcement, but the amount of trucks they can pull over and weigh and cite is just like there's an astronomical amount of overweight trucks. So having that ability to enforce automatically will help get more of those trucks to issue violations to more of them.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to bring trucks off the BQE to weigh them so we end up not doing anything.
right. So sorry, I'm getting like technical, but where does the weigh
We can't tell you where the sensors are.
They get
because I'd have
installed.
to kill you if I told you.
We typically, and this is true of the automated like speed camera enforcement and red light cameras, we don't tell people where the cameras are, or they only behave around the cameras. That's the same of the weigh in motion, but I think we can tell you that this particular program is authorized for the BQE between the vicinity of Atlantic Avenue and the vicinity of Sand Street. But generally, yeah, with our automated enforcement programs, if we tell you exactly where it is, then you're only going to behave around those areas. We want you to behave everywhere.
So our advice is to not be a very overweight truck.
Alyssa, we know you have a tendency to be an overweight truck.
Well, Kenan would say I do overpack even just to go home for the weekend. So not too far off.
That's okay. Every husband says that their wife overpacks.
They're probably right.
Very, very interesting. I did not know any of that. Very cool. All right. Any other things for Joanne? I just got a text from our state senator, Andrew Gennardis, that he's going to hop on in just a couple minutes. So I told him that we got the rundown of the budget, but in case he wants to say hi and give us any other updates from the Senate side of things, we can hear from him on that. But in the meantime, thank you, Joanne, for the updates. And wanted to toss it over to Linda. I hope your other endorsement meeting went well. Do you have news for us yet on that, or is it too early?
You have to unmute.
Yes, I was trying to find the unmute piece here on my cell phone. I apologize. I'm still in the LID meeting, by the way, so I'm calling in on my cell phone, and I do apologize for the delay in hopping on. I do not have any news yet. I don't have the good news yet, but I pray that it's coming. I'm really committed to the work that LID does. I'm committed to being an interrupter of injustice wherever it rears its ugly head. And I'm so thrilled and excited and motivated by the support that all of you have given me during the endorsement season, through petitioning and now. And so thank you very, very much. Words really cannot capture the appreciation that I feel, the work that I do to keep fairness and equity in the mix at every turn in the court system is my life's work over the past 32 years. I'm doing this because I'm a helper. I'm doing this meaning I'm running for judge to help people in a different way, but to continue helping people. It's not about me, it's about community, and I'm really happy that I have you all as partners in this mission. And so I will just update everyone to let you know that I did have a petition challenge. Some of you may have been aware of that, but thanks to all of your hard work, all your legwork and your input, your dedication, I came out on top with thousands more votes than I actually needed. We knew going in that it was a very frivolous lawsuit and that that we would prevail. We lost a few days in the process that we couldn't spend on the campaign, but I assure you that I'm making it up every waking hour. I start early and I go late, and I'm going to use every bit of fiber in my body to make sure we secure the victory against county, just to make sure that fairness will continue to dominate on my watch. So thank you.
It's great. It's great. So, oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm going to mute you. But yes, we are excited to support you. And like I said at the top of the meeting, you are our only campaign. So you have all of IND's attention leading up to early voting. And as we announced earlier, we'll do the June 10th kickoff for you on Grand Army Plaza. If all goes well at LID, maybe we can add them as a co-sponsor, make it a real big event within the 52nd Assembly District, but really excited about supporting you that way. And after the meeting, we'll send around a sign-up sheet so we can start introducing you to our neighbors in our buildings and doing a little bit more one-on-one electioneering in that way. So introducing you around is always what I find some of the most helpful things, especially when there's only one race on our ballots this year. It's gonna, it's not as exciting as we thought to start, but very exciting that we get to put all of our efforts into you. So thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Oh, Seamus has a question. He also has a hand.
Well, I have two hands actually, and the two hand. Question for Linda. So I have this friend who's been seeing your posters around the neighborhood, and my friend would like to know how they can get some posters for their window and other windows in the area.
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted, Linda. Still muted.
Okay, thank you. My phone is not as sensitive as I want it to be tonight. So I'm happy to drop off posters, or your friend can pick them up at my home. I'm on Carlton Avenue in Prospect Heights. My Seamus, I think you might have my contact information by my Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, but my cell phone number, it's easy to get me via text, 718-219-3555. I see that more readily nowadays than emails. And
You can also get them from me.
Okay. Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Say that again? I didn't hear that last comment.
It's Joy. I can get them to him too. I'm closer than you are for you to try to get to him.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Joy.
Sure.
Perfect. All right. And we'll make sure to have plenty of stuff to pass around on June 10th for our big day with you. But in the meantime, you should definitely have your face everywhere. I know it's very well represented here in Prospect Heights. I see you on every block, Linda. It's a joy. Awesome. Okay. Well, we are just waiting for Senator Gounardes to hop on. But in the meantime, I am happy to filibuster and talk about all the cool events that we have coming up. So Greg mentioned the rally that's going to happen next Wednesday. We'll get that on the calendar. The June 10th event is the next thing that we have going on. And then our general meeting, just a big plug for that. We'll have for the first time the Congressman Dan Goldman in person, full attention on us, along with our friends at BK Forge. So that'll be a good opportunity to host the congressman in the district. And then what's after this is a little bit down in the summer, after the summer rather, we'll have IND's annual fundraising event. But instead of a dinner this year, the committee has decided to do a brunch, which I'm personally very excited about because I love a mimosa. I feel like I'm talking a lot about different drinks that I enjoy, but who doesn't? So we will be hosting the annual IND brunch at the Marco Polo restaurant on September 10th, which is a Sunday. So save the date. I know it seems very far away. It seems all the way at the end of the summer when we're not even at Memorial Day, but things book up fast. So please save the date for that. There will be, of course, an affordable ticket option. All tickets will be affordable, really just trying to get a little bit replenishment of our funds while also having a good time and honoring some great Democrats. Oh, and they have great cheesecake. Very exciting. Cool. Does anyone have, I'm gonna text the senator and see if he's around, but if not, does anyone else have anything that they're working on or would like to report to the group? I know we're losing people, but feel free to make a plug. Let me just text him. Oop. Okay,
Hey, okay.
so
Mom,
do you have something, Seamus?
my mom does.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Alyssa and group. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for their kind wishes and their good thoughts. And I'm happy to report that Seamus's dad and my husband took a walk around the block today, which is probably, doesn't sound like an awful lot to you, but 3 weeks ago, he could not take 2 steps. So I would like to thank Joan Millman for her kindness and help and getting him into a great rehab facility and for everybody's good thoughts. And it's really been very, very warm and helpful to us emotionally. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, we are more than neighbors here. We are just like family, which is something that I really appreciate about the club. And we're so happy to hear that he's doing better and getting those steps in. We love to see it. Okay, I let the senator know that we'll be hopping off, but just, you know, everyone loves the IND onesie, so I will just show it off here because how cute is this?
That is adorable.
So we will make sure to get the senator his onesie, and there's also a onesie ode to our executive board member Dan Abramson and former corresponding secretary Dara Adams. So a couple onesies, you know, you might have to reorder them soon at this pace, but we'll see.
I think Grandpa would like a onesie.
Oh yes, we also need to get
Grandpa would like a onesie.
Grandpa. That is so true. All right, 3 onesies coming at you. But we will end on the positive note from the onesies and Seamus's dad as well.
I have one other positive note.
okay.
This weekend is the New York City Young Democrats Convention. I don't want to say too much, but it's a good chance that our friends of the Brooklyn Young Democrats will be okay.
Good.
I'll explain more probably next meeting.
Perfect. Love the teaser. All right, hearing no other new business, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
Hal. All right, we'll see you all June 10th and then June 15th and then a whole bunch more for early voting and beyond. So thank you all, really appreciate it. And
Good night, all.
Thank you.
Take
Good night,
care.
everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.